Okay, after the last Euro with the Yamal and Co. and Williams and Rodri, we looked at Spain and say these guys are unbeatable and they're going to definitely win the World Cup. Now I don't know. I'm still a Spain fan and I still think Spain versus France will be a fantastic game. But right now, we're not saying France is the best team in the world, but they look scary. And for now, maybe we have to say they're favorites. Anything can happen. We know that France tends to be indisciplined when they come to World Cups, but they look scary. When you look at their front four, Mbappe as a central striker. Then you've got Olise, Dembele, and who's the fourth one? And Ekitike. That is crazy. With those types of four
Chicken.
guys up front, and then in the middle, you in the midfield, you've got Rabiot, you've got Chalmani, you've got Kamavinga. So they've got a rugged midfield. Those guys there are going to be able to physical in midfield,
You
and then
still have
you've got those
Kante
other
on the bench.
Kante, yeah, N'Golo Kante on the bench. Then at the back, they've got Saliba, they've got Kunde. Who are the other two? This is a bloody team right here, man. This
And
team
Hernandez.
and Hernandez, yeah. This is
Hernandez.
a very they don't have any weakness anywhere on the pitch. And once again, when you look at this guy, when you look at what's his name, what's his Mbappe, I forgot his name. I was saying Drogba. Mbappe. When you look at Mbappe, he's going to need like two players on him because of his speed. He's not a skilled player. He's not a true number nine, but the type of space he's going to open up. And then you've got Ekitike, who's a vertical player to complement him, and you've got Olise on the right, and you've got Dembele who can drift, who's probably one of the top two players in the world. Teams are going to have their handful in the forward part of the game. And once again, you've got Chimeni and Camavinga and midfield Rabiot. I don't know, is this guy going to be playing for them? Falabi, who's the one that their striker, the French guy? I think he's retired
Ekitike,
now.
is it Ekitike?
No, the one that used to play for that plays for Atletico Madrid.
Oh, okay. Antoine Griezmann.
Oh,
Antoine
Yes, Griezmann
Griezmann.
playing on the
Griezmann,
bench.
yeah.
No,
Is he
Griezmann
on the
didn't
team?
play.
No,
Griezmann
he's
didn't
not
Oh,
play.
in the
okay.
team now.
That guy, they didn't bring him anyway. But they don't need him. This is a young team that's versatile. And it's going to be difficult for teams to beat them. The way they beat Brazil, they made Brazil look simple, look absolutely simple. Not to even mention who's the other guy that plays for them. That plays. Did he even make it on the team? Their winger who plays for PSG on the left, the one with the dreads.
He shows something.
Desiree Doué. Desiree Doué.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
no, the other one. They have another winger who plays for. And well, I'll figure it out. But what are your thoughts in general about this team? We're going to talk about who could probably handle them. I think a team like England has the best chance to try to hold them because England has a good defensive and midfield, and then they've got a guy Kane who does a lot of work. But of course, you look out for Spain. Spain can score a lot of goals, but the problem is they give up a lot of goals. So we're looking at England, Spain, and Germany as the only teams that can beat France in this World Cup, or they have a chance of beating them. What are your thoughts on Falabi?
Yeah, it's a very good team with a very strong spine. And like you said, the pace up front is scary. I mean, when you have the likes of Ekitike, you have the likes of Mbappe, you have what they call this guy, Olise, and
Moussa
then
Dembele.
yes, and then you have Usman Dembele. They have loads of pace. But if you watch the game against Brazil, Brazil had the lion's share of possession. So it more or less played into their hands because they were hitting Brazil on the counter because Brazil pushed their defense very high. And if you look at the Brazilian defenders, the likes of Gabriel, as well as I've forgotten the other guy that pairs with him, they're slow. So if you are playing against this French team and you want to play a possession game, you have to be careful because of the pace. They have a lot of pace in that team. And then another thing I noticed in their midfield, they have a lot of work rate stroke defensive midfielders. In terms of creative craft and imagination, they really don't have anybody like Griezmann. I mean, in the past, they've had guys like Platini, Zidane, Pogba. They
Mm-hmm.
don't really have that metronome
They still
in
don't
the
have one.
number
Yeah.
10 that can really open up defenses by passing the ball through the eye of a needle. So that's one area where I feel they are lacking. If they
Yeah.
have possession, they may not be able to break down a stubborn
What
defense.
about Rabiot? Is Rabiot is he a
Rabio is more
playmaker?
of a work rate defensive
Yeah.
midfielder. He doesn't have
I
as
thought
much
the guy I
style.
forgot to mention was Bacola.
Okay. Yeah, I know Bakola. Yeah, Bakola. Yes, that's another very good winger. If you look
When
at
I say
most of
weak,
them, they are
the
wingish,
midfield,
like you said,
the
wingish.
midfield is rugged, but not
Yeah, the
creative.
midfield is rugged. Yes, yes.
But this guy is pretty creative as a winger. Dembele, he's decent as a winger. He's
Yeah,
not
he's
the most
decent
creative,
as a winger. So the way
but that's their winger.
they played it in a very funny way. They were swapping positions for that number 10 position. Sometimes Olise
Yeah.
would go there, sometimes Dembele would go there. And they left the striker and winger responsibility to Mbappe and Ekitike. Ekitike is the only natural striker there. The rest are more or less like wingers.
Yeah. Well, this is the new France because the old France was Zidane. Who was the other one? The
Yuri
striker who didn't get to
Jokev,
play.
you know,
Yeah. No, but
Henry,
now this team
Thierry
is just
Henry.
relying on very quick, explosive, and elusive wingers. In
exactly,
fact, their
explosive
front four is
wingers.
basically they don't even have a pure number nine out of those four guys.
No, they don't. They
Okay,
don't.
Dembele is not a number nine. Mbappe is not a number nine for real, to be
Not
honest
number
with you.
nine. Inky plays
Uh,
number nine.
or at least say, but what they have is they have explosive forwards. These guys
Forwards,
are forwards and wingers,
exactly.
and they can stretch the.
Explosive forwards.
It's just,
They don't have a
yeah,
real number nine.
this is going to be a scary World Cup. So, what are your thoughts on Mr. Segodi?
No, absolutely. Like I must agree with Afolabi. The only thing that I see France lacking is that number 10 that can break the lines, like your Griezmann that can be creative. But if you look at that front four of France, I don't think there's any team in the world that can handle that kind of pace. Like if you have Mbappe as a number 9, and then you always need to worry about your space behind. Like he's a type of guy that can run behind your defense. He's very quick. It doesn't matter where he is. You can just pass the ball. He will get there. And on top of that, he's got that like finishing. The finishing comes naturally. Like if he's one-on-one with the keeper, you just forget. So they're very scary for me. They're very scary. They're a
Uh,
new force in the world. I don't see
yeah,
any team handling them. Not even
I,
Germany. Like
no, I don't know, Segodi. I don't know. Let's talk about Spain. Rodri's back in shape. Rodri's the best defensive midfielder in football.
in
Then
the
they've
world.
got
Yeah.
Pedri in midfield. Pedri is a playmaker. Then they've got Yamal, who's on the right. Then they've got Tony Williams on the left. I would even say, wouldn't you agree that if you really look at it, Spain's attack is actually more controlled and just as scary?
Yes, and they have more balance in their midfield. Spain
Yeah,
have technically gifted players that can open up the defense like Pedri, Gabi, all those guys, and this guy, Danny. Those guys can open up defenses with their creativity. If France is not playing on the counter attack, I don't think that's devastating. Spain
no,
can
they have to.
have
You got to watch
possession
out for them.
and still open up defenses. They have the
Yeah,
craft and the guile. I mean, when you have
and I
someone
can
like
see.
Rodri sitting in your midfield, the others have the license to go forward and then pass the ball and dribble.
And Spain has the most complete midfield. Rodri, Olmo, um,
Pedri,
Ped, Pedri was considered for half of this year. He's considered for a lot of the season before injuries. He's considered to be the best number 10 in the world now. Pedri, right?
yeah.
Pedri's
Yeah.
is I can't we can't name another number 10. Who's the best number 10 creative midfielder in the world right now?
They have
I mean,
become
I think
endangered species.
it's
They have become
endangered, but
endangered
at some point,
species.
Pedri was
We don't have
the
too
most.
many of them anymore.
We don't have too many of them, and
Yeah.
and then you got what's his name, Yamal. And the thing about Yamal plays every sector of the game. He's on attack on the right, and then he comes back. Do you remember Fabi? What he marked out Mbappe in European Championships. Remember that?
What even made it,
Yamal.
what makes
Yeah.
what makes
Yeah.
Yamal very difficult to mark is he starts his movement from the right
Deep.
and then he
Yeah.
drifts into the center. And sometimes
Yeah.
he decides to overlap
Yeah.
and cross the ball. So it keeps you guessing.
Yeah. So even though France is favorites, we can't say that they're going to win easily. If France meets a team like Spain in the finals, it's going to be a close match. If they meet a team like England, it's going to be very close. I think France can beat Germany. But let's talk about versus England. This England team looks pretty good. Do you know who their squad will be at Falabi? And how do you think they match up against Spain? I mean, against France.
I saw them against Uruguay. I wasn't particularly impressed, but I feel
Okay.
the coach has not selected his starting 11. They have a very deep
Yeah.
squad, and they have a lot of emerging young players. I mean, the likes of Cole Palmer are still there at their
Yeah.
number 10.
The thing
Phil
about them
Foden
is
is
that they're
out
going to
of
play in
favor.
different structure.
Yeah, he hasn't had a good season. And then there's Bellingham as well. as well as Declan Rice of Arsenal. They have a good crop of young players coming up.
Yeah.
And don't forget, they have the deadliest striker in the world now, Harry Kane. So that's a big factor too.
Okay, yeah. What about Germany?
Germany is another another very, very talented team. I mean, what can I say? Musiala, Leroy Sané, they have a lot of talented players in that team. And they know how to keep the ball.
And they probably have the most solid midfield. Solid midfield.
Very solid midfield, rugged in defense. But the Germans are traditionally very physical. So I don't know.
Right now, if you ask me to say on paper who's favorite, I'm going to give the slight edge to France over Spain, only because France is more physical than Spain. Slight edge.
I think France and Spain, because apart from the talent Spain has, they also have the tactical nous. They have very brilliant coaches. When they go to tournaments, they know how to set up their teams. I mean, look at all the age grade. They've been doing well. They have a plan of getting their teams ready.
And you know that both countries are producing the best youth.
They have the best academies. They have the best academies, and even their coaches.
But I think France tends to have faster players. Spain has more technically gifted players. But the speed, and that's where
physical.
The dangerous part. I don't like Mbappe, but Mbappe is dangerous when it comes to World Cups. That guy is dangerous, man.
Sure.
All right, what are your thoughts, Mr. Segodi?
No, like you're saying, I'm giving the edge to France because of their physicality, and because if you look at Spain, they hold a very high line, so it will be a danger for them, because if you hold that kind of high line against Mbappe, you'll be in a serious problem, because if they win the ball in the midfield and they release Mbappe
there's a temptation to think that Spain play like Barcelona. Spain are not as gung-ho. They're a bit more measured.
And they have Chicharola on the left fullback.
Yes, Cucurella. That's another very good developing left back.
The Spanish team, here's the difference. They have Rodri. Barcelona doesn't have Rodri.
Yes, they have Rodri.
Yes. No, absolutely.
All right, so don't forget, first match of the year, we've forgotten about the real France. The real France, Senegal. Senegal. No, but let me tell you something. It's not going to be easy against Senegal. I promise you, Senegal, France. I thought Senegal may lose, but they're going to control the possession, and they actually have a more physical midfield.
Of course.
They have a more physical midfield.
Yes.
But they don't have the firepower.
Because it's almost the same team.
Let me tell you, I believe that Senegal can make it to the quarterfinals, maybe even the semifinals of this tournament. I'm not joking.
Absolutely.
I think they can make it to the quarterfinals.
But I think if they play France, they would rather give possession to the French team and try and hit them on the counter. Yes.
We'll see what happens. So nobody should be laughing, because Senegal beat England 3-0 in a friendly, and it wasn't luck. It wasn't luck at all. And they beat Morocco.
Wasn't luck.
Morocco made it to the semifinals of the last World Cup, and Senegal beat Morocco. So we know how good Senegal is. So don't be surprised.
They have a very good team. Senegal has a very good team. No doubt about that.
In fact, Senegal, if Senegal played in Europe, they'd be one of the top 4 teams in Europe, or top 5 teams in Europe.
Yeah.
And they've been together for a while. So the team, they understand each other.
Yeah. Yeah. We haven't decided whether they've won the championship or not. Every day, AFCON say take the cup,